Hi, welcome to yet another new video from the City Traveler. Today I'm taking you on 2 city trips that can be very well combined if you spend a few days in Italy. Want more videos about city trips? Then don't forget to subscribe and like. Today I'm taking you to Pisa and Cinque Terre, 2 typical Italian places you must have seen. Let's start with Pisa. This tour starts at the central station of Pisa. If you walk straight ahead from the station, you will end up in the cozy Piazza Vittorio Emanuele II. Start the day here with a nice cup of Italian coffee or cappuccino on one of the terraces. At this square, be sure to walk around the corner towards the Piazzetta Keith Haring. Here you will find the large and colorful artwork Tutto Mondo by the famous artist Keith Haring. Through the Corsa Italia and over the Ponte di Mezzo. From Piazza Vittorio Emanuele II, continue walking straight through Corsa Italia, Pisa's largest shopping street. Here you will find many well-known chains as well as some nice typical Italian stores, ideal for a little shopping. From the shopping street, you walk directly onto the Logge dei Banchi. Under these large and stately arches, you can often find a market. Opposite the Logge dei Banchi is the Ponte di Mezzo. Cross the river via the bridge and enjoy the beautiful view of the beautifully colored buildings on the Arno River. From Piazza Garibaldi to Torre del Campagno. Across the river is the cozy Piazza Garibaldi. Here, markets are held regularly where you can buy all kinds of homemade Italian products. Walk further towards the Piazza delle Vettovaglie. Along the way, you will come across the beautiful Chiesa di San Michele in Borgo, a beautiful church somewhat hidden among the other buildings. From the Piazza delle Vettovaglie, continue your way to the Torre del Campagno, a remarkable ancient tower that towers over the city. Lunch at I Porsi Comodi. For a tasty lunch, walk a little further to I Porsi Comodi. In this little store, you will find the tastiest sandwiches in all of Pisa. You can choose from more than 50 different sandwiches, all freshly made. It's also nice to order a cheese plate here. Piazza dei Cavalieri. After your lunch, walk 300 meters to Piazza dei Cavalieri. Despite being close to the famous Tower of Pisa, the square is often skipped when visiting Pisa. The square is completely surrounded by ancient palaces, such as the Palazzo del Consiglio dei Dodici. The Tower of Pisa. When you pass under Palazzo del Orologio, at Piazza dei Cavalieri, it is only a 600-meter walk to Piazza dei Miracoli. This is the square where the famous Leaning Tower of Pisa is located. Want to climb the Tower of Pisa? Then be sure to book tickets online in advance, as only a limited number of people are allowed to enter the tower at a time and there is often a long line. A visit to the nearby cathedral is included in the tickets. The other buildings in Piazza dei Miracoli. Besides the Tower of Pisa, there are many other extraordinary and historic buildings in Piazza dei Miracoli. In fact, almost all the buildings in this square are on UNESCO's World Heritage List. For example, you will find the beautiful medieval and Gothic Santa Maria Cathedral and the Baptistery. Via de Ponte Solferino. Back to the station. When walking back to the station from Piazza dei Miracoli, I recommend that this time you cross the river at the Ponte Solferino. Just before you reach this bridge, you will see the Palazzo delle Vedove, recognizable by the particular bridge that connects the 2 buildings. From the Ponte Solferino, you can also see across the water the beautiful Chiesa di Santa Maria della Spina. This church, according to many, is the most beautiful church in Pisa, and I can't blame them. Combine Pisa with other destinations in Italy. Due to its convenient location, Pisa is ideal to combine with the visit to other cities in Italy. From Pisa, you can easily drive towards Cinque Terre to spend one day or several days there. Cinque Terre. One question. Can you see the 5 villages of Cinque Terre in one day? You certainly can, but it is recommended to book an overnight stay here so you can see everything at your leisure. And so, if you have some time, however, I would recommend spending at least 2 days in Cinque Terre. Still, you can see many of the highlights of Cinque Terre even in one day. Start at the port of Rio Maggiore. Leave as early in the morning as possible and start your day in Rio Maggiore. This is the first village of Cinque Terre you will encounter when traveling to Cinque Terre from the Pisa or La Spezia side. Because of the many boats and the colorful buildings in the background, Rio Maggiore's harbor is especially atmospheric. For the best view of Rio Maggiore's colorful harbor, I recommend clambering over the large rocks along the coast. Explore the atmospheric center of Rio Maggiore. Although many travelers mainly linger in the harbor of Rio Maggiore, I recommend you to stroll into the village as well. We ourselves walked up through the narrow streets to the Chiesa di San Giovanni Battista, a beautiful church located on a large square. From the edge of the square, you already have a beautiful view of the city, but it is better to walk a little further on the Via Pecunia. This narrow street gives you the very best view over all of Rio Maggiore. Both the view towards the water and towards the mountains is beautiful. Take the train to Vernazza. Walk back to Rio Maggiore station and take the train to Vernazza. Along the way, you will pass the villages of Manalora and Corniglia, which you will see more of later today. The train ride from Rio Maggiore to Vernazza takes 15 minutes. Visit the port of Vernazza. Vernazza is the most popular village in Cinque Terre, and according to many travelers, it is also the most beautiful village in Cinque Terre. You can tell by the crowds in the village's main street and harbor. So, if possible, try to get to Vernazza fairly early to avoid the worst crowds. Despite the crowds, I do think the port of Vernazza is really a must visit. Walk from Vernazza to Monterosso al Mare. Between Vernazza and the next village, Monterosso al Mare, there is a beautiful walking path. From this path that runs high through the vineyards, you have the best view of Vernazza as far as I'm concerned. To get to this viewpoint, walk up the narrow staircase to the right of a number of 26 at the Piazza Harbor Square. From this point, you have 2 options to get to Monterosso al Mare. Walk the entire walking route from Vernazza to Monterosso al Mare. This takes about 2 hours and you walk mostly through vineyards and woods. As a result, there is also plenty of shade on the route. Little time or don't feel like walking the entire route? Then walk back to Vernazza station and take the train to Monterosso al Mare. The train takes 4 minutes. Whereas the other 4 villages, you have a jagged coastline with mostly rocks. In Monterosso, you can also relax on the beach. In the old part of Monterosso al Mare, you already saw a small beach, but in the newer part, you will find an even more beautiful and larger sandy beach. From Monterosso al Mare, you can travel by boat to Manarola. From the water, you have a spectacular view of the different villages of Cinque Terre and the green surroundings. Besides the previously visited village of Vernazza, you can also see Corniglia along the way. This is the 5th village of Cinque Terre. The village is the only one without a harbor, and from the train station, you have to walk up 382 steps to get to the village. If you know Cinque Terre from photos, chances are the iconic view of colorful Manarola is in these images. So, there's no better way to end your day trip in Cinque Terre than with dinner at this magnificent view. I hope you enjoyed this video again. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can see more videos about travel and city trips.